is dedicated to preventing and reducing crime. Our primary purpose is to teach men or women how to make the minor adjustments that are necessary in their lives, which will allow them to obtain and maintain a productive lifestyle after incarceration and or rehabilitation. Our motto is anywhere but backwards. Everybody say anywhere but backwards. The words in that mission statement, it says to obtain, and the other one is maintain. Listen to me. To obtain means to come into the possession of something. Maintain means to keep it in existence. Listen, the reason why I say that, everybody say to obtain my sobriety is easy. Our challenge is to maintain it. Say to obtain our sobriety is easy. Our challenge is to maintain it. To attain our sobriety is easy. Welcome everybody to the Minor Adjustments virtual group. My name is Michael Mickey Williams Jr. As always, even when I hear myself reciting that, to attain my sobriety is easy. Our challenge is to maintain it. Every time I hear myself reciting that, I want individuals to understand that it's all possible if you just maintain your sobriety. You don't have to obtain it, but we'll talk about that in a few moments. Always remember our motto is anywhere but backwards. Anywhere but backwards is only 3 words. Anywhere but backwards. If you can master those particular words, right? Those particular words came from Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 24. And it says, yet they did not obey and incline their ear to me, but they followed the counsel of their own hearts, and they kept going backwards and not forward. So when I read that, that's where anywhere but backwards came from. To God be the glory. Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 24. Make sure you read that up and look at it. It's very important. So as always, please go to our website. There's a lot of different things on there on the Minor Adjustments website, which is minoradjustments.org. There's a host of things that you can get on there. And just share the website and share this page with any individuals who might be struggling with a criminal lifestyle and or substance use issues. Also, you can see, I'll put the link to a store. We have a small store where you can buy all types of books and type of bracelets, anywhere but backwards bracelets, all types of different bracelets. You'll be able to go on our store and purchase it. We also have t-shirts on there as well. So it's a host of things on there. So go check that out, all right? And today we're going to be talking about always visualizing vertically. Always visualizing vertically. That's very important. We're going to unpack that and as we get started here. Okay, so let's look at the Minor Adjustments mission statement. Before anything I do in my life, I was just briefly telling my wife this. Anything that I do in my life, in my relationship with my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, he always tied it to some type of particular vision. Some type of vision or mission. I don't know why he created me that way, but he always gives me like a vision or a mission to follow. And that's how I'm able to gauge where I am in regards to what I'm supposed to do. I'll go back to that particular vision and find out, am I in line with what I'm supposed to do? And saying all of that, the Minor Adjustments mission statement. It says minor adjustments is dedicated to preventing and reducing crime. Our primary purpose is to Our primary purpose is to teach men and women how to make the minor adjustments that are necessary for their lives, which will allow them to obtain and maintain a productive lifestyle after incarceration and or rehabilitation. In the particular mission statement, there are 2 words that are highlighted. If you got the book, they're not highlighted, but they're bold. It's obtain and maintain. Why are those 2 words so big than any other word on this particular page? That's a good question, and I'm so glad you asked. On the next page, it says, to obtain our sobriety is easy. Our challenge is to maintain it. To obtain means to come into the possession of something. But to maintain means to keep something in existence. So the reason why I say to attain your sobriety is easy is because once you obtain your sobriety, I'll use my own personal life. In August 2009 is when I obtained my sobriety from crack cocaine and heroin addiction, right? In August 2010, I didn't have to go obtain my sobriety all over again. From August 2009, I had to learn what I needed to learn to maintain my sobriety that I had obtained. So that consisted of me developing my spiritual development, me developing relapse prevention skills, me developing coping skills, me getting a social support network, a spiritual support network, and a family dynamic network. So all of those things, whatever, you might not need all of those, but all of those things consisted of things that I had to attach to my life to help me maintain the sobriety that I had obtained in August 2009. And now this is year 2023. And I still use those particular things to help me along the way. Do I rely on them a lot less other than my spiritual foundation? Yes. My spiritual foundation, I have increased my appetite in that area, but the other things, I still rely on them, but just not to the extreme. So to attain your sobriety is easy. The challenge is to maintain it. So whatever you need to do to maintain your sobriety, whatever you need to acquire, whatever you need to develop, whatever you need, whoever you need to connect to, those things are the things that you have to use to help maintain the sobriety that you just obtained. So today we're going to go over always visualize vertically, and we'll unpack that and get as much things we can out of it. Let me put this back on the screen. Let's see. Let's see. All right, there we go. So we're going everything we need to go through. We're going to go through. Let me get to the page. I believe it's 38. Let me get to this page, and then we'll go from there. All right. As soon as it stop moving. Hold on. Let me get to the page 38, and then we'll go from there. 28, 30. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. So each lesson, before we start, each lesson I always have expectation for each week. This expectation is everyone will learn what they need to learn in their development stage. Everyone will learn what they need to learn while they're in their development stage. I'll explain that in a minute. So it says, always live off of your vision and never off of your sight. Your sight shows you what's now, but your vision shows you what's to come. Unbelief in ourselves, sometimes some unbelief in ourselves is so prevalent that I do not wish to say anything that might be interpreted as excusing it. But for all of our being so slow to believe in ourselves, I still think that we sometimes blame ourselves for unbelief when our trouble is nothing more than our inability to visualize. If you have a willing mind, good God, and are truly ready to make some minor adjustments in your life, you will have to learn how to always visualize vertically. In order for you to actually get to the next level to where you're supposed to be while you are maintaining your sobriety, you have to always visualize vertically. When I say always visualize vertically, I mean a few different things. One, always look up to something greater than you. That's your spiritual foundation, right? Or always look at yourself doing something better than what you used to do, or always seeing yourself in a better situation than you were previously in. Two different things. Seeing yourself in a situation that's better than the situation you were previously in doesn't necessarily mean that you will end up being a drug counselor. For instance, I'm a drug counselor at this particular time in my life, but I didn't see myself being a drug and alcohol counselor, but I always saw myself doing something different. So that's visualizing vertically. So when I talked about my expectation. Everyone will learn what they need to learn while you're in your development stage. Let me tell you this. Most people believe when a caterpillar goes from being a caterpillar to being the adult butterfly. However, look it up. I'm not lying. When a caterpillar goes into the cocoon, the caterpillar is not called a caterpillar. It's not called a butterfly. It's called a pupa. And that's the insect that's in the stage of development. So when the caterpillar goes in the cocoon, it's called a pupa, P-U-P-A. And a pupa, when I looked it up, it says that's the insect that's in the stage of development. I said all that to say this. Everyone will learn what they need to learn while you're in your development stage. So if you're in a particular facility, that's what's called your development stage. And if you are coasting and not learning what you need to learn while you're in your development stage, when you get back to where you're going to go, it's possible that you will go back to what you used to do. Why? Because you didn't learn what you needed to learn while you were in your development stage. So the facility that you're currently in, or the facility that you just came from, meant more to you than you actually thought. So in order for you to grow up, watch this term, to be the adult butterfly, you have to develop in that stage. So before the pupa came out to be the adult butterfly, it could not come out of the cocoon until it developed everything it needed, good God, in order to be the adult butterfly. Now, I'm associating this with our recovery walk. While you're in a facility, everything you can get while you're in that facility, you're in your stage of development. I hope you understand that. So from this day forward, don't look at any facility, any place that you are, any program you are attached to. Only look at it and say, wait a minute. This is my stage of development. What area of my life do I need to develop in? Watch this, so I don't go back to what I used to do. So you got to understand, you're going to have to be very intentional. That's a good word. You're going to have to be very intentional, because everybody in your circle might not have this type of arsenal to be focused on developing in areas that they need to develop in. And they might want to just coast around the day and really waste time and do work and don't do nothing, don't work on anything. You have to be intentional to say, listen, yeah, I can hang out with y'all right now. We can be, playing around, shucking and jiving and doing all of that. But I got to make some personal time to work on things I need to develop, because it's very important. I call it the monster, because the monster is waiting outside the program. And the monster is outside the facility. And the monster is counting on you, not working on anything. The monster said, listen, you don't have to don't develop anything. When you come out here, I'll meet you when you get out here. But I am glad you are taking the minor adjustments course, because my expectation is that everyone will learn what they need to learn while they are in their development stage. I hope you understand that. I want to also read something out this paragraph. Watch this. It says, I still think that we sometimes blame ourselves for unbelief, when really our trouble is nothing more than our inability to visualize. What that simply means is we never actually visualize ourselves doing something greater than what we have done thus far. For 22 years of my life, all I did was commit crime, do drugs, mess with a bunch of girls, run around in the streets and all of those things. That was my life since I was 16 to the age of 38. So I had to change the way I thought about things and visualize myself doing something different. You have to do it. I got to go back up top in the paragraph. Look up here. Watch this. Always live off your vision. Never live off your sight, because your sight shows you what's now, but your vision shows you what's to come. What that means, it means that You can be visualizing about something while you're currently in a facility. Okay, you think I'm lying? The program we are currently going over right now is called the Minor Adjustments Program. I was visualizing about doing a program and coming back and help individuals who were struggling just like me while I was in a particular Salvation Army in Wilmington, Delaware. What am I saying? My present situation showed me that I was in a facility, but my vision showed me that I can do something to help individuals while I was in a facility. Listen, I'm not just telling y'all about always visualizing vertically. I'm telling you something that I physically did. I did it myself. This is why I put it in the book and telling you that you can do it. I was in the program. That was what my sight showed me. You're in the rehab, Michael. But my vision showed me coming back to the rehab to help individuals, watch this, make some minor adjustments. And right now, I am literally carrying out, walking in, manifesting the vision I had when I was in the Salvation Army in 2008. Listen to me. I'm not telling you something that I guessed. I'm telling you something that I did. And I'm saying all that because no matter where you are right now in your present walk with your recovery, your sight shows you one thing, but your vision shows you another thing. And both of those things are real. Oh, man, I'm going to take a sip of water on that one. Let me see here. The word visualize means to form a mental image of something incapable of being viewed or not currently visible. You see that? So this is what visualize means. So even though I had a vision of doing a minor adjustment program in facilities, rehabilitation centers, correctional facilities, halfway houses, and all these things, right? I had the mindset to do it, but at the same time, I had to visualize it. And visualize means something that's incapable of being viewed. So I couldn't actually see it, but I could see it in my mind's eye. Let's look at this first bullet right here. This is good. Make sure y'all drop comments and stuff in there, right? Let's see what we got. Let me see. All right. Let me read this one. It says, who do you visualize about? This is a quote from one of my favorite authors, A.W. Tozer. I recommend reading stuff by him. When our dominant desires are bad, our whole life is bad. When the desires are good, our life comes up to the level of our desires. That's A.W. Tozer. So when our dominant desires are bad, our whole life is bad. When the desires are good, our life comes up to the level of our desires. So therefore, when you're visualizing about something and you have a desire, I don't know what your particular desires are. You might want to get your relationship back with your spouse. You might want to get your relationship back with your children or family or an employer. I don't know. I can't really say. But if that's your desires, if they're good, when our dominant desires are bad, our whole life is bad. When our desires are good, watch these words, our life will come up to the level of our desires. Remember, I said that I used to visualize about doing a minor adjustment program in different facilities, but I used to visualize that it was my desire. So my desire, my life came up to the level of my desire. Oh, man. I should actually charge you for that. Listen to me. When you visualize and you have desires for something, your life is going to match up or level up to your desires. But this is the thing. If you have desires about doing bad, likewise, something bad is more than likely going to happen because your dominant desires is about things that's going to happen bad. That's why I never think or say bad situation happening, even though I know bad situations can happen. I don't actually verbally say, oh, I'm going to get sick or I might get cold. I might get I don't speak that at all. Right. I say I'm not going to, it's not going to happen to me because that's my desire. So you got to understand that. Let's move. I hope y'all let me see if we got any questions, comments, concerns, criticism about my wife. Let me see. No. All right. Good. Let's see what we got. All right, let's look at, let me see which one I want to read. Let's go with the highlighted. I got them highlighted for a reason, huh? Let me stick. I told you I stick to the script. So the first one said, what does your sight show you? So your sight, remember, your sight show you one thing, but your vision shows you another. There's a word, it's a medical term, comorbidity. I liked it. I liked it when I first read it, and I said, man, let me look this word up. When I read it, I said, oh, I'm putting this in here, and then always visualize vertically. So comorbidity is two or more issues occurring in the same person. They can occur at the same time or one after the other. So comorbidity is something that occurs, two or more issues that's happening at the same time in this one particular person. You got two different things going on. You got two different medical issues going on at the same time. It says one can happen, they can occur at the same time or one after another. The reason why I like this word is because you can have your sight and you can have your vision. You can have both of them going on at the same time. I keep using my own personal life. My sight showed me being in the rehabilitation center, but my vision was showing me coming back to the rehabilitation centers, helping the men and women who were struggling with a substance use issue. Watch this, just like me. But both of those was going on at the same time. The two things occurring at the same time. One can occur, they can occur at the same time. They can happen at the same time, or they can happen one after another. Why is that important? Because I want you to always visualize vertically. And most of the time when I'm teaching individuals and telling them about visualizing vertically, they more than likely will bring up what they're faced with now, what they're seeing now. But as a faith individual, I automatically know that we walk by faith, not by sight. And this is not just for a person in the faith spectrum. This is individuals in life, period. If you go by what you're seeing versus what you can see with your spiritual eye, with your mind's eye, or whatever terminology you would like to use, you can get very depressed. Because if I would have looked at the situation and saying, there's no way my life going to change. I've been addicted to drugs all these years. I've been in rehab more than I can count. My family is about tired of trying to help me, right? That was what my sight was showing me. But my vision was showing me you can do something different with your life. Even though I did not know how that was going to get started, I knew this part once I left the Salvation Army is that I can't go backwards. So my motto is anywhere but backwards. You got it. You got it. Next, let's see. All right. What does your vision show? So the first one we said, what does your sight show you? Right. And I want you to pay attention. I don't want to trick you. That's a good word. I don't want to trick you and say what your sight showing you right now is not real, because it is real. But I don't want you to also neglect your vision. So it says, Mr. Miles Monroe says, your vision is a preview of your purpose. Woo-wee. So listen to me. I was visualizing about the mind adjustment program and going in to help individuals who are struggling with substance use disorder, right? Let me help you out. Watch this. Today, I'm a drug and alcohol counselor. You gotta get this. When I started the mind adjustment program, I was not a drug and alcohol counselor. The mind adjustment program was the vision I had. But Mr. Miles Monroe said, your vision is actually a preview of your purpose. So it has always been God's purpose for me to be a certified drug and alcohol counselor. I just didn't know it, but I knew that I had a vision for minor adjustments. But the minor adjustments was simply a vision. But the vision is actually a preview of your purpose. I hope I ain't go too far over your head. Whatever your vision is, right? Whatever vision you have, it's a preview of your purpose. The reason why you got to start manifesting your vision is because once you start to put the vision together, once you start to put some plowing some trees and getting some things done in regards to the vision you have, that's going to make your purpose get a little bit more clearer. Oh man, this is so good, man. I'm gonna have to get this tape myself. Listen. Your vision is a preview of your purpose. The question is, what do you have in your vision? That's the question. Or are you focused on your sight? You got your sight and you have your vision. What do you have in your vision? This is the next bullet. Let's look at it. Next one is, do you believe in yourself? Wow. That's heavy. The boy lowered the standard. There's a story I was telling it Sunday, how a man used to always come home and his son would be out there trying to dunk the basketball. He would be trying to dunk it every day, and his father would see him out there and laugh at him and encourage him about dunking the ball. So one day he runs in the house, he tells his father, listen, Dad, I got it. Come on outside. He comes outside, Dad comes outside. The little boy runs over to the court, two-hand dunk. Boom, he dunks the basketball. Watch this, y'all. His father walked over to the court and he raised the basketball court back up to the original standard. And, excuse me. And he used that opportunity to teach his son an important lesson. He said, son, never lower the standard, achieve something, and then call it success. Instead, live up to the standard that's set. I said all that to say this. Listen, don't lower the standard, live up to the standard. What's lowering the standard? Let me show you what it looked like in the field of addiction and recovery. My substance issue was my substance issue, challenging substance was crack cocaine and heroin. Lowering the standard would be, since crack cocaine and heroin was actually the areas where I struggled, I'm going to use marijuana and alcohol. That's lowering the standard. You're trying to make the standard lower instead of saying, I can't do anything. Me personally, I don't do anything. I don't smoke or drink, smoke cigarettes, none of it, right? But lowering the standard will only put you in a situation where you will one day compromise. Because eventually, if you lower the standard and you're doing something that you wasn't accustomed to doing, that you didn't enjoy doing, eventually you're going to get tired of it. And you're going to go do what you used to do because that's what you used to enjoy. So I'm telling you that because only individuals who lower their standards don't believe in themselves. If you are in a situation, listen to me, and you have a problem believing in yourself, succeeding in the area of never going back to the substance or alcohol that you used to use, this is the time, or that is the area where you want to develop. Remember, you're in this stage of the development. So if you're in an area where you have a difficult time believing in yourself, right? I feel for you, and I'm going to pray for you. But this time is the time where you try to build up that self-esteem, build up that belief in yourself while you're in your development stage. If you do not work on that area before you leave the facility, you're only going to resort back to things that you used to do. Because if you don't believe in yourself now and you don't try to get some type of help or read some type of book or speak to a spiritual counselor or someone, right? An alumni person or something, if you don't try to get the help you need for that area, and you're going to leave and you're going to be in the same situation. This is why my expectation was everyone will learn what they need to learn while they're in their development stage. When you're in your development stage, that time is precious. That's a precious time that you have to develop in those areas. If you do not believe in yourself, go back to one of the videos I taught on my purpose, right? It's in this particular, I'll put the link to the playlist to that video. In that, if you have the book, go to the My Purpose chapter. In the My Purpose chapter, it literally has about 6 or 7 times where it repeats these words. I have a purpose. I have a purpose. I have a purpose. And the reason why it's repeated like that is because when I didn't believe in myself, that's what I had to tell myself every day. I have a purpose. I have a purpose. I have a purpose. So it's in the book, and that's why I put it in there, because individuals sometimes find themselves in an area where they don't believe in themselves, where they don't believe that they can actually live a life and never do drugs and alcohol again. Good God, man, it's a beautiful thing. Do you believe in yourself? Don't lower the standards. Trust me, you can do it. If I did it, trust me, you can do it. And a lot of times people say, oh, nah, Mr. Mike, you don't know how hard it is. Yes, I do. I've been doing it for 22 years, and I have been away from it since 2009. And I was able to do it when my spiritual foundation got built up, when my recovery skills got built up, my coping skills got built up, all of that family network, recovery support network, all that stuff played a part. And watch this, sometimes, especially as men, sometimes we don't want other men or other women to try to tell us what we need to do or what's a better route to do something, is because we want to act like we got it all together, when really we don't need to do all of those things. If you don't believe in yourself, you need to let somebody know, and your group, a spiritual counselor, a major alumni person, or somebody, let them know you have a problem believing in yourself, and they can look up things, find things that help strengthen you in that area. Man, I hope y'all understand that. I hope you got that. Let's see what we got. Ooh, we're moving here. Ooh, it's good. Let's see. You will be surprised at how many people don't move forward in life just because of how they see themselves. You have to see yourself free from being in bondage. See yourself more than a conqueror. See yourself as the parent that you always wanted. See yourself free from coming back here, or see yourself doing something productive in your community. See yourself being responsible. See yourself being the children your parents raised you to be. See yourself as a better person. Close your eyes and see yourself doing it. This is talking about visualizing. Sometimes you just got to close your eyes and just see yourself living the life that you want. See yourself being the parent that you want to be to your children. See yourself being the person that your parents raised you to be. A lot of times we be living different from how our parents actually raised us, if we had individual parents in our lives. But you got to see yourself from coming back where you are. Only reason you should come back to the place where you are, if you're in a facility, is to come back and encourage individuals who are in the place where you once was, but now you at the status of alumni, or you are doing well. You always should come back and try to encourage those individuals. This is primary. One of the main reasons I do the minor adjustments program is because I want to try to encourage individuals who are going through different situations, and they can learn from the mistakes that I made and show them that they can make minor adjustments just like I made minor adjustments. Let's see what we got. See yourself being responsible. See yourself being the children your parents raised you to be. See yourself. Close your eyes and see yourself. Let me see. The things we see now are here today. They're gone tomorrow. But the things we see now will last forever. All right. Let's look at Miss Austin, Miss Shalanda Austin. This is one of my friends from Atlantic City. She has a book called Say It Till You See It. Woo-wee. Say it till you see it. Okay, let me say. It says, she had a quote in her book. She says, get a mental picture of yourself being successful. That right there, I got to pull over, pause, and park. It says, get a mental picture of yourself being successful. Ask God for direction, resources, and whatever else you feel will make that vision come to fruition. So you see what she says? She says, get a mental picture of yourself being successful. Just get it in your mental. You can't manifest something that you can't think about. I have different things that I think about all the time, and I want to birth what I see in my mind, right? I want to birth it. I see it in my mind, but I need to birth it. And more I'm thinking about it, I'm going to have to build it from the ground up, right? So because some things in your mind has to be built. but it has to be built according to the pattern that God had for you. So you want to get a mental picture of yourself being successful. She says, now ask God, watch this, for direction, resources, and whatever else you feel you might need to make that vision come to fruition. Make that vision come to fruition. So you want to get a mental picture of yourself being successful. If I don't want you to forget something. If you can't remember everything that she said in that book, definitely remember this part. Get a mental picture of yourself being successful. Likewise, get a mental picture of yourself never using drugs ever again. Wow. Yeah, that's good. Let's take a moment and just meditate on that for a moment. Let's pause right there. Get a mental picture of yourself never ever using drugs again. What would your life be like then? Never ever being dope sick. Never ever having to rob to get drugs. Never ever having to steal from your family, takes from your family and loved ones. Oh. Get a mental picture of yourself never using again. Let's move. All right. Thought for the day. Visualize this thing. Think about it. I'm sorry. Visualize this thing that you want. See it. Feel it. Believe in it. Make your mental blueprint. Good God. And begin to build. Visualize the thing that you want. What is it that you want? Remember, we're talking about always visualizing vertically. Visualize this thing that you want. See it. Feel it. Believe in it. Make your mental blueprint and begin to build. Again, we was going over anywhere. Always visualize vertically. Today, that was just part one of that particular workbook. And part two, if you have the book, please go do part two and revisit all the previous chapters we did before leading up to this one. And next week, we'll move into another chapter. But today, we was talking about visualizing vertically. Always never live off your sight. Always live off your vision. You got to have a vision of you being successful. See yourself being successful. Visualize it. It's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes you have to get it in your mind because you might lack belief in yourself. There's nothing wrong with getting something in your mind and thinking about it over and over again positively, and then watch that thing manifest. It will start to create a life that will live or that will match up or level up to what you have in your mind. You will have a vision of something in your mind of you being successful. And in your life, when things come your way that doesn't match the vision you had in your mind, it will be easier for you not to touch it. Why? Because it no longer matches the vision that I have in my mind. Some things are in the world already. All the same drugs and all the stuff that I used to do is still in the world that I walk in every day. But since those things don't match what I have in my vision, it's easy for me to say, I don't want it. It's easy. Why? Because I have a vision in my mind and those things do not match. I'm not telling you that to try to trick you. I'm telling you to get a vision and go off your vision and not your sight. You have to always visualize vertically. Again, my name is Michael Mickey Williams Jr., and Minor Adjustments is dedicated to preventing and reducing crime. Our primary purpose is to teach men or women how to make the minor adjustments that are necessary for their lives, which will allow them to obtain and maintain a productive lifestyle after incarceration and or rehabilitation. Our motto is anywhere but backwards. Don't forget, anywhere but backwards. and always, always, without a shadow of a doubt, visualize vertically. Thank you, and God bless. Thank you, Miss Cynthia. As always, thank you for your support. God bless y'all.